Okay.
Hello
Let's go.
everyone, Ruhi Chenet here. We set out towards the hot.
Oh, my bad. Oopsies. Let me start it over. All right. Today we have another video visiting the world's hottest place, 159 degrees Fahrenheit. What? Lut Desert. Okay. All right. I'm not sure your cameras will be working in that, but let's go.
Hello everyone, Ruhi Chenet here.
Oh, video by Rui Sinet. I probably butchered that. My bad.
We set out towards the hottest spot on the planet, the Lut Desert, which is mostly inaccessible due to scorching temperatures beyond human endurance and the lack of resources like water. NASA's medium-resolution imaging spectroradiometer installed on the Aqua satellite recorded that the world's hottest land surface was in the Lut Desert, where temperatures reached 70.7 degrees Celsius or 159.3 degrees Fahrenheit in 2005. Located in the southeast of Iran, the distance from the northernmost tip to the southernmost tip of the Lut Desert is considered 480 kilometers, and its distance from the westernmost tip to the easternmost tip is considered 320 kilometers. This vast salt desert contains many mysterious spots, like Gondombaryan, the hottest point on the planet, where 70.7 degrees Celsius is measured from space. A vast plateau covered with dark volcanic rocks that are claimed to have no life on its surface. NASA has measured surface temperatures there for several years and has repeatedly seen record numbers. In this hell where the planet is cooked by the sun, we will shoot images that we have never seen before. Our first stop is Shahdat, the last town on our way, built in an oasis in the west of the desert. Here life is normal thanks to the high altitude.
Now the temperature is about 37 degrees Celsius here. Now we have hundreds of kilometers to go and the temperatures will get even higher.
Before entering the desert, we see the hundreds of years old Shafi Abad Caravanserai, which
Every time I hear L-U-T, LUT, I automatically think of a lookup table. I can't get rid of it. Can't get it out of my mind. I love LUTs.
is now in ruins.
In desert, while the weather is so hot, we find some water and put our scarf or shamak in the water. National air condition.
I hope it's clean.
And put it on our head to reduce the temperature. So we need to record the track of going to the desert. There is a backup company which is following our GPS and our track, and if something happened to us, they immediately come to us.
The Lut Desert
Okay,
is
that's
also
good.
recognized as one of the driest regions in the world. It usually receives less than 30 millimeters of precipitation per year, and this small amount of rainwater flows down the surrounding mountains for a short time and evaporates quickly.
There are many salty lakes that have dried up in the scorching heat. Unfortunately, some migratory birds cannot find any shade they can take shelter in when they fly in this geography, and they make a mistake.
crazy.
They come to these salty lakes and drink salty water without knowing, and they pay for this mistake with their lives. This shows that nature has no joke and has no pity. I don't know what kind of bird this is. Beyond recognizable. Let's go.
In order to move forward in the desert, we lower the pressure of the tires of the cars. They shouldn't burst under rough terrain conditions.
We're just at the beginning of the road. Let's measure the soil temperature here. 63.7 degrees Celsius, 146.6 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what will happen in a few hundred kilometers. You see now that the shadow is 45 degrees Celsius or 113 degrees Fahrenheit. We're still early in the day.
That's essentially
I
flat
keep
for
the
real.
phone cooler like this, with this ice like this. If it is got hot, it doesn't work.
After a difficult 2-hour journey into the heart of the desert, we finally approached
bro.
the central point. This place has one of the lowest altitudes in the Lut Desert and is the second hottest.
Side note, the place looked beautiful though. I would love to visit, but at night, or maybe like golden hour or something.
spot. After this point, if we are going to stay outside for more than 2 minutes, no part of our body should be exposed, including our hands. The first thing we did as soon as we got out
Like, you know how that's essentially a oven, bro. That's definitely like, you know, like you trying to warm up food and go to like, was it what, 170?
out of the vehicle at around 12 o'clock was to measure the temperature of the ground. Our infrared thermometer showed 66.9 degrees Celsius, 66.3 degrees Celsius, 68.2 degrees Celsius. After only 2 minutes of laser thermometer measurement, the device gives an error due to high temperature. Our immersion thermometer, on the other hand, shows 69.6 degrees Celsius. Our guide worried that we might get stuck in the sand and quickly got out the vehicle.
I'm gonna pass these dunes and then I pick you up there because the car should be lighter.
As we move towards the center of the desert, the conditions are getting tougher. There are clouds out there which we have not seen anywhere before.
We need to be very careful near the sand dunes because we got stuck immediately. Should be very careful and drive very good.
It is very hard to breathe
scary.
here. I am actually very thirsty. As you see the red line of the thermometer stuck to the top, it's not moving, can't measure. It shows that it exceeds 50 degrees Celsius or 122
Bro, you don't need a thermometer. It's hot. Give it up.
degrees Fahrenheit. We also have a laser thermometer here. This no longer works at all, giving an error message. This is an immersion thermometer. There is a temperature of 52 degrees Celsius or 125.5 degrees Fahrenheit here. Our guide says we will go further, but even this geography does not allow us to breathe. After opening the window, it is like hair dryer machine.
They don't have AC in the car? Shake my head, bro. How do you not? They got to do better than that, bro.
Really unbelievable.
The floor is like a pan on a stove. The ambience is like an oven.
We are pushing the boundaries here. I was thinking that I would be relaxed when I opened the window, but it is worse.
It's like the hot air squeezing our throats. Air temperature and surface temperature are different concepts. While the surface temperature indicates the values for the sand absorbing the sun, the air temperature indicates the values in the air at least 1.5 meters above the sand. Usually the surface temperature is higher than the air temperature.
Hacı Baysa. Evet.
Because of this rock.
Hey, look, my shoe is melted. My feet feel like
Jeez.
burning.
We're not in the hottest place yet. Our friend's shoe just melted because of stepping on the ground. This layer has slipped. The ground is about 70 degrees
That's
Celsius or
crazy.
158 degrees Fahrenheit.
When we are not filming, we protect our cameras from high temperatures in the refrigerator.
Okay, all right. Now this makes sense. I was wondering, and that's a big boy too. You don't want that to melt.
Where we store our water. Otherwise, they are constantly turning off.
It's dark.
Our phones also became unusable from time to time.
My phone doesn't work.
Even though I constantly refill the 2-liter water bag I carry on my back all the time and drink water again and again, I can't stop my thirst.
It is now 2:15
Yeah.
p.m. We are
Gotta
walking
hydrate.
towards endless desert. Let's see how far we can walk.
The near west of the
Gotta
desert
hydrate,
is a
bro.
low altitude region with an altitude of up to 150 meters and is exposed to the strong winds. Wind erosions form colute structures which are up to 150 meters high and can be seen in rows for tens of kilometers. The region is also home to yardanks up to 75 meters high, parallel ridges and other geoclimatic formations.
Bro, if you get lost in there, it might be over.
Although the
for
wind
you.
is strong here, the sand is almost scorching.
I have a hard time even standing up like this because the heat from the ground is burning my feet. Even though I'm wearing high-heeled sneakers, I can feel the warmth. Temperature measurements are made in shaded areas by weather stations. There's no working weather station here. We will also provide some shadow here.
In the shade near Kaluz, where there are fast blowing winds, we couldn't see the 52 degrees Celsius we saw under the sun 1 hour ago.
You see that the temperature is now 47.3 degrees Celsius, 117 degrees Fahrenheit.
But innocent winds can turn into sandstorms later in the day. Winds also make our lips chapped and increase our thirst. The sun rays reflected back from the sand make it difficult for us to see.
That's worse. I feel like I'm blind. There's so much light. Glasses are a very serious need. It is really impossible to see around without them. It also protects against sandstorms from the sides. But this is not the
There you
hottest
go.
spot. We haven't reached the hottest point yet. I think the temperatures are 5 to 6 degrees Celsius higher there. After 50 degrees Celsius, it becomes more difficult to withstand with each increasing degree. It becomes impossible to hold metal objects, and also some objects may melt. The effect of a
Good
temperature
gracious.
increase from 50 to 51 degrees Celsius is very different from 30 to 31 degrees Celsius.
I remember I flew a drone in the desert once. I should have recorded it, but it was acting so crazy. Like I had to like try to get it like out of the air because it was literally going crazy. So it was in high heat. It was in the desert. I don't even think it recorded because it was that messed up. It would have been dope if it did, but when I tell you, it was like going, like just like it was having a seizure for real. It was weird. It was so weird. So like, finally get it to the ground, but it's still like it kept doing like flip flopping, like it was like having a seizure. And I'm like, dang. So I took the battery out quick as I could, took it back to the car. Look, yes, it was very warm, but two, it was like, it was about 110 or so. It was something like that. It was hot. It was hot that day. So, but, you know what I'm saying? Let it rest. Luckily, it was still good. That was, man, that was
It
crazy.
pushes the limits of endurance. As the hours progress, the wind intensity increases. These are signs of a nighttime sandstorm. After landscape darkens under the red clouds, a sound like the roar of the sea reaches everywhere. You lie on the ground, motionless, in despair. This could be a sandstorm. We can finally breathe a little in the coolness of the shade.
Now we're going to get our food heated by the sand.
The temperature of 70 degrees Celsius coming from the ground makes our meal ready.
They reduce the temperature of your body.
Here you go. We are resting in the shade. It is around 3:30 p.m. It's like sun is absorbing all of our energy. We are eating a local Iranian dish called hurma sebzi. I'm stepping on a ground that perhaps humankind has never stepped on before. It's an interesting feeling. These depths of the desert are not visited much. We're near the Kalut. You're seeing the walls of the Kalut. It is quite
Hey, I know that wind and that shade is heavenly right now.
hard and it's a big chunk. Now we are trying to return to camping site and we are very thirsty. The water is gone. The tracks started to disappear. I cannot remember where this place is. We've been walking for about 3 hours. The sun has come down quite a bit. The temperature began to lose its effect a little. I think it is around 45 degrees Celsius or 113
That's
degrees
good.
Fahrenheit now.
A desert is an endless road. Everywhere you look, there are thousands of roads covered with sand. But for those who do not know the direction, there is only one destiny. Here, some migratory birds enter the desert. They can't get out of the desert because of the intense heat. And by falling from the sky, they contribute to the ecological balance, which includes grasshoppers and desert foxes.
Jeez.
Finally, we returned and set off on a quick quest northward to camp somewhere sheltered from the night storm. As the weather cools enough to take off our heads at 7:30 p.m., the wind speed increases and we hope that
I know they probably got gasoline. I would really be scared to store it anywhere in that amount of
a
heat.
sandstorm will not occur. Luckily, we're safe in this higher location, enjoying the sunset before the big day tomorrow.
I've prepared a light trap to show you that there is life in the Lot Desert. Let's see which animals will come.
Information on biodiversity in this region is limited, but in addition to the barren vegetation in the north, many species can also be seen, including desert foxes, snakes, lizards, Elurillus spiders, moths, and red-veined darters. However, it is specifically stated in many sources that no living creature lives in Gondombaryan, the hottest region we will reach tomorrow at noon.
This tree is the Nepka tree. As you can see, there's a lot of sand under it because there are many sandstorms here and the tree collects the sands at its root. They're kind of growing together.
Small ones of Nepka trees, one of the few plant species that survive in the unfavorable location of the desert, are everywhere. The hills on which they stand will grow with them.
We're gonna go here, volcanic mountain, volcanic area, and here is Gandomaria.
This is a region where even those who go around with camels for years have barely survived. According to the written legends, towards the end of some journeys that took weeks, even the camels would crawl on their knees with trembling legs. The most realistic looking mirages always disorientated the adventurers.
Have you ever come to Gandon Beryan in summer?
No, it is very dangerous to come here in this season. It's 8 years that I'm doing in Lut Desert, but this is the first time that I'm coming here in this season. The weather is so hot and very hard.
Is there anyone who comes here in
No, there is no people doing this.
There are rumors that a caravan loaded with wheat had to leave its loads on the ground, and when they returned a few days later with rested camels to pick up the loads, they found their wheat roasted. Gandon Beryan means roasted wheat in Persian. The surrounding sand dunes and mountains trap the hot air on the ground. Its low altitude reduces the chance of air rising and cooling. The dark color of the volcanic rocks on its surface almost soaks up the sun. On our way to Gandon Beryan, we found 2 abandoned motorcycle wheels. We have no idea what happened to the riders in this hell, where the nearest settlement is miles away. Some tourists come here in the cool months like December, January, February, but visiting the desert in June, July, August is regularly banned by the Iranian government.
We cannot go any further.
Say
The
safety
sun
first.
are black and the temperature is so hot. We stop here. We stop here. No more further. Okay. It is dangerous to go further. Arşe بپای سرم.
So I require only 2 hours to film here because I need to investigate the stones. How long can we keep here?
Actually, to be
Standing
honest, it is better to go to leave here as soon as possible. But if you want to do anything, it is not my responsibility. Just go. We go back there and we wait there for you. You go and do whatever you want and go back as soon as possible. It is dangerous to stay here more.
You will go back now?
Yeah, we go back now. It is very dangerous for the car to keep the car here. As you see, the stones are black and very heat, and it may flat the tires or also damage the engine. So we go back there, wait for you.
Like only 200 meters?
Maybe a little bit more, yeah. The temperature is so hot, and so I am trying to cool the radiator. We are here, exactly here, like 300 or 400.
Well, yeah. That's the last thing you want to happen. The car
Doesn't matter
breakdown.
to
It's a
Gandon
wrap.
Beryan.
And it'll
We are
all
not
have AC.
allowed to go further with car. You can do this by walking, and this big hill is Gandon Beryan. You need to be careful. Take water with yourself and cover yourself completely because the weather is so dry. Even if your skin will be burned and you will be heated and your body will be dehydrated and you will die. Okay, just be careful and take lots of water with yourself. Take one radio. Just in emergency cases, we need to be with each other in touch. Be careful. Your shoes should be tight, and the heat maybe burn your shoes as well. Okay, check this area. Just please go back as soon as possible. As soon as did your job, go back. Okay, and always should be in touch with radio.
Yeah,
just
sure.
one group. Yes, take the radio with yourself and be careful. Okay, to be without any. I don't know if it is not reality. It is the reality. It is dangerous. The reality is
Very
dangerous.
dangerous.
Go
Very,
and go
very,
back
very,
soon.
very.
And the time is the maximum temperature. It's 12 until when you go back.
1 hour later.
So 1 is the hottest time.
Maybe 2 hours later then. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
After this point, no part of my body should be exposed anymore. Meanwhile, since its initial analysis, NASA has recently released a new version of its satellite software, leading to the speculation that land surface temperatures in the Lut Desert could be even higher now. As researchers from the Bulletin of the American Meteorological Society, an academic journal, pointed out in their publication in May 2021, it is thought that temperatures in Lut Desert could actually reach as high as 80.8 degrees Celsius or 177.4 degrees Fahrenheit. We left the meat
oven,
on the
bro.
console of the car and set off. Our time and resources are limited, so we have to be fast and organized.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, bro.
I am going to give a report in every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes, okay.
There is no shadow anywhere. Everywhere is covered with large and small stones and basaltic rocks. These stones are so hot that no hand can resist holding them.
Whoa.
I hope
Looks
his shoes
like
are
hell.
gonna be straight. Well, all
A
right.
huge area, more like the surface of Mars than Earth, greeted us. We feel like we have stepped on another planet.
We came to the hottest spot on our planet. I can't believe it. I don't know how long we can last here. It's very hot everywhere. I can feel the heat under my feet. There's no place where I can take a step that's not black, and the black stones are literally burning now. You see the mountains? These mountains actually go further. Look, the place over there looks like it's on fire. I don't know if you see the heat rising from the ground. Since it's surrounded by mountains, mountains trap the hot air down here and the hot air cannot get out.
Literally in a valley, just
The
baking.
color of the rocks and the basalt structure naturally absorbs the sun's heat more. The place is like hell. Now let's take a walk and measure the temperature. The high temperature of the dry surface absorbs all the endurance and strength of a person as he or she takes a step. Even plants like cactus don't grow here at all. It is stated in many sources that no living thing can live on this place. It is estimated that these basalt remnants were formed as a result of magnetic activity that took place about 2 million years ago. And pores were formed in the stones as a result of gas release in the lava. We're about to unofficially measure one of the highest temperatures ever measured on Earth. Leaving a person alone here means his or her death. If our friends leave us, there's no way we can get out of here. We are in a place that is completely contrary to human nature. There are many articles that say that no creature lives in Gondombaria. We are in the hottest place on Earth right now, during the hottest period of the season and the hottest hour of the day. I have to utilize my water very carefully. Now I will measure the temperature at a height of 1 meter from the ground, and this measurement has to be done in the shade. That's why we carry an umbrella with us. This is not for ourselves. There is wind here, but just because it's windy doesn't mean it's cool at all, since the wind blows like fire. I can feel the scorching heat all over my body right now.
My hand is burning. The camera is black, you know.
Every metal place we touch is like it's on fire. There's a reason this umbrella isn't black. I want this measurement to be fair. My feet are like on fire, really. When you stand in a place and wait a little, the feeling of warmth increases. First, let's measure the temperature on the ground.
Oof. Error.
It gives an
This all I need
error.
to know.
Yes, it can measure the temperature, but it cannot be under the heat. We're going to keep the thermometer next to cold water, cool it down a bit, and try again. I tried to provide the shade for about a minute to make a fair measure. I can't even speak. This isn't working anyway. It doesn't show anything. It says iPhone needs to cool down before you can use it. Now we're going to measure the temperature under the sun. Because we don't have any shade here, that's the temperature we feel, nowhere to hide. The sun mercilessly sears where it beams. I have trouble speaking and I have a terrible headache here.
You got a headache, bro? You need to get up out of there. It's too hot. Way too hot.
It shows the air temperature 54.1 degrees Celsius or 129.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's measure the surface temperature with this. Guys, it is 30 minutes in. We're fine.
Roger that.
Is everything okay there?
Everything is okay here, but the temperature is still getting high and high.
I can feel the intensity of the sun
Hold on. It look like it
about me
froze.
in all its fury. I can feel my heart rate increasing. I'm shaking. After spending an hour, our bodies began to tremble. I'm tired. I have no more energy. I have to pause a lot. Water break. The camera got so hot that I can't hold it for 3 seconds without gloves. Everything metal is scorching right now. Did you take your gloves off?
My hand is shaking.
Why would you do that?
But the place where I touched camera are red and hurting.
Why would you do that?
So bright without glasses. I can never walk like this. I am going to try something different now. Error, it says error. When I put it inside, it says error. Oh my god. Oof.
It's gonna say error. Just put it up, man. Put it up.
I have to put on my gloves. It's working, come here. 68.6 degrees Celsius, 69.2 degrees Celsius. We're getting pretty close to what NASA had measured. Is this a sandstorm? There are very frequent storms here.
Guys, here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, you're fine, no problem.
There was a sandstorm just around here. We were filming it. I couldn't reply to you.
Remember that you are the only person who gets there in this season, in this time, in this day.
Now let's take a look at the temperature of this. It doesn't work. This is also broken. Yes, this
Dang. Well,
tip can withstand the heat, but this part where the mechanism is located was also on the ground. I
That's
guess
a
it is
wrap.
broken because of the heat. Not durable, gone. Laser thermometer gives an error, doesn't work. The liquid from the mercury thermometer stuck to the top. The immersion thermometer is also broken.
Shall we walk? I'm scorching. Haven't your feet got burned?
Yes, they have. Considering that a cup of tea or coffee is served at around 70 degrees Celsius or 160 degrees Fahrenheit, it is not difficult to guess what the result of stepping on the ground barefoot will be. On 23rd of June, we measured the surface temperature of 69.2 degrees Celsius or 156.5 degrees Fahrenheit, the air temperature of 48.5 degrees Celsius or
my gosh.
119.3 degrees Fahrenheit, and under the sun, the air temperature of 54.1 degrees Celsius.
What's the hottest weather y'all ever been in? Like I'm talking about like the hottest temperature you ever been exposed to ever in life. What is it?
Or 129.3 degrees Fahrenheit. I left the phone on the ground, if you remember. When I picked it up from the ground, I saw that the cheap plastic on its edges
Why would you leave the phone on the ground?
was burned, but the middle bottom is fine. When I put it on the ground, the bottom side stayed up a little bit. The edges touched to the stone. You see, this side is burned too. We encountered something we never expected to see. The claim that there are no living things here does not reflect the truth. I've experienced it here for the first time. It's June and it's around 2 p.m. and you see a subspecies of Eremiphylla. It is also known as the praying mantis among the people. Also, I keep forgetting it. How is the meat? I put slice of meat there. The front is kind of cooked. The back seems better. So hot, it's like I'm taking it out of the pan. It also smells like it's cooked. The middle needs to stay a little longer. This is how much it can get cooked in 2 hours.
That's crazy.
This is a surprise for you?
Yes, I'm surprised.
So we are debunking a myth then. Animals actually do live in Gondombaria. Our desert expedition shows that melting car videos circulating on the internet during summer are also fictional. Even here, car parts cannot melt in a day, they may melt only in a week.
So the first minute, because the wheel is so hot, as you see, my hand is burned. I brought some gloves here to touch the steering wheel for first 5 minutes. We will go out of here as soon as possible.
And we are at the end of a very hard documentary. Ruhi Chenet was here.
Well, what an amazing video. I don't think I will last that long out there. Even if I got melanin, that's too high, bro. Especially like working in the heat before. Oh my gosh, bro. I worked at 110 degrees before, so yeah. I know how yeah. I'll pass on that. But make sure you like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think down below. And we gonna keep it pushing. How y'all doing tonight though? What's the word? Tell me something good. Tell me something good. Oops. Okay, dog. Ooh, cool.
These are the dogs out.
All right, we got another one, got another one, got another one. Got another. Okay. Today we have a video that is called "Dogs That Will Send You to." Okay, hold on. This video is called hold on. There we go. Dogs that will send you to dog backward. Oh man, that's something else.
I would
boy,
take the
say.
leash off and walk you. Because a lot of y'all have gotten way too confident. I've said it before, but one way to see how a guy's mind works is to ask him, what's the biggest animal you could beat in a fight? And if you want to see how highly he thinks of himself, ask him, what's the biggest dog he could take down? Or if there's even one alive that he couldn't. TikTok has taught me a majority of y'all are KOing anything canine. Allegedly. Now, in their defense, there's over 350 breeds of dogs and the average man is bodying most of them. Dogs are built for friendship, some quite literally, and they're descended from a pack hunter who really isn't about the one-on-ones. Plus, dogs have one real way of delivering damage, and unless they have the size to make up for it, most dogs can't go band for band with the average man. The thing about size. Some canines are big enough to take you off the registry. Once dogs hit that 140 to 150 pound range, they go from a loud inconvenience to something whose free will could potentially put you in a dirt motel. Bigger than that, and you got the kind of dog where every breath you take is by his blessing. Real quick, this isn't to demonize any breed or inspire you to test your luck against your dog. And also, don't take this too seriously. I know Fantasy Fight Club loves hills to die on. But first we got the Kangal Shepherd is a Turkish Fido flex bred as a livestock guardian dog against jackals, wolves, and bears. Males on average get from 110 to 150 pounds, but ask around. Someone will tell you about their 180 pound attitude adjustment. An important distinction is that these aren't herding dogs, they're guarding dogs.
Did you say 180?
The canine insurance policy pretty much are part of the herd, and any predators that flock around very quickly find out. Kangals will defend theirs in any situation, and while the cellmate of Cerberus prefers intimidation, they'll catch a clean body if it gets there. The catch is, since Kangals are built to defend the defenseless, they're unironically really good with children. But with a temper more trigger-happy than the state of Texas, nothing steps to a member of a Kangal's herd without getting read in an obituary. Apparently, some Kangals have snapped at their owners for getting too close to their own sheep. With Kangals having the strongest bite of any dog at an alleged 743 pounds per square inch, a snap from a helicoptering horsehound hits much different. They're so protective.
Well, look at the jaws on that thing there. That that'll definitely send you up out of here. Like, imagine being mauled by that.
They even protect some of the predators they were hired against. In Namibia, ranchers and cheetahs share an area code, and in a world where a dead cow can set your entire family back, many cheetahs become chalk outlines in the name of asset protection. But having Kangals and Anatolians on site, which as far as I understand are Americanized Kangals, the cheetahs get run off by canine conflict resolution before the ranchers have to reach for a permanent solution. The Kangal option actually reduced cheetah trappings and killings by 80%, and in some places they're providing the same deterrent service to wolves. So all in all, they're still a good dog. Just not for everyone. And not just because they need space, experience, and most importantly, a purpose. They need discipline, because gentle parenting means Turkish Tank rips your arm out of the socket the first time he sees a squirrel.
Oh, okay. Understood.
This fluffy boulder would send you back to the mountains they spawned from. Forged in the mountains of Caucasus, the Caucasian Shepherd is also called the Russian Bear Dog, even though they're not Russian, and you're liable for a lecture if you call them that in front of the wrong person. They also weren't bred to hunt bears. They're also livestock life insurance. It's just that calorie blocking a bear might just come with a job description. The blow-dry Tasmanian Devil comes in two forms, the longer coated mountain type and the shorter coated steppe version. The mountain brand are the big boys, and usually the ones that can get to over 200 pounds. And I promise you, you are not choking out a Wolverine on creatine with war experience. The dog, also called the Ovcharka, was used in World War II.
Yeah, I would not like to see that in the alley.
As Soviet Union guards that would gatekeep Soviet gulags. So they might not send you there, but they'll keep you in its custody. So even though...
Yo, no, hold on. What the world? Alright. They was guarding the gulag? The gulag, like... Nah, bro. That's,
Though they
that's
didn't
serious.
originate in
That's
Russia,
serious.
before the Soviet Union developed an atomic bomb, they mobilized a furry nuke in the form of Fido. Also, a good amount would patrol the Berlin Wall, and after the wall came down and the dogs were adopted out, many of the veterans would suddenly remember their orders whenever near the past tense wall, and would robotically walk in obedience to a wall that wasn't there. So yeah, folks messed around and created an absolute unit of a sleeper agent, and it isn't until you have about 200 pounds of dog resisting your will that you realize what the amounts of Caucasus were cooking. There's a reason this domesticated bear is used in Russian prisons. Imagine packs of ovcharkas roaming the city of Berlin at the expense of anyone unlucky enough to run into them. Well, you don't need imagination. For one of the dogs next, it's a reality. This is honestly the first place my mind went after hearing about the man versus dog debate. You tell him to sit, he looks at you like this. What is your next move? Daikujo decides to climb on your couch where he knows he's not allowed. What is your vehicle of retribution? I pray it's not a rolled up newspaper. He's gonna make you a small section of the next one. Latin is like a
yeah, it's over
linguistic
with.
black light that tells the full story of a word. And when you shine it on Cane Corso, canis is dog, and corso or cohors refers to guard, specifically a military guard dog. Corsos, or actually corsai, are kind of the guard dog, and they're descended from ancient Roman war dogs known as Canis pugnax. For corsai, the Italian mastiff would attack enemy lines in battle with buckets of flaming, scalding hot oil strapped to their backs. Fun fact, in my culture, cani is the name of a spice you put on dishes, and to me it's all good, but to someone who's never had it before or doesn't know how to handle it, it can be an overseasoned assault on the senses. Same story with the uber black of dogs. Handle them wrong and they're a one-way trip straight to Valhalla. And with many over 120 pounds, I do believe every conscious breath you take is with their consent. Again, they're guard dogs that protect their pack, and within it, they're docile family dogs that you can trust with the kids. But the same dog that can tear a wild boar in half like a phone book would absolutely turn you into coffin fodder in a fight. This might be the most underrated dog out here. First time I saw one, I genuinely thought it was a customized. This might be the most wild boar in half like a phone book would absolutely turn you into coffin fodder in a fight.
Okay. Origin, Canary Island, wait. I mean height. Okay.
This might be the most underrated dog out here. First time I saw one, I genuinely thought it was a customized cane. And while they look similar, at up to and often over 140 pounds, the Bressa Canario somehow tankier than the canine Italian stallion. Don't get it twisted, the Spanish Mastiff off the Canary Islands is 404ing most men. They just might have been brought over by Spanish conquistadors, and they were admired for their intelligence, toughness, and like a fitted sheet they won't fold. But they were also bred specifically to exterminate wild or stray dogs. And that's something I'm gonna touch on later, because LGDs like ovcharkas, they're not meant to murk predators, just discourage them. They bred the Presa Canario to erase other dogs. That's basically a canine assassin. The hired gun was also a reoccurring character in dogfighting rings, even after it was criminalized. Because of this, the pride of the Canary Islands almost went extinct in the 60s. Luckily, a breed society, Club Español de Presa Canario, was formed, and they came up with a breed standard. The standard was approved in '89, and the Presa Canario was recognized as the official dog of the Canary Islands. The goal was to help the Presa make a comeback, and today they're still going strong. They have a lifespan that can last over a decade, despite all the nerfs that come with being a big dog. Which means we're talking about the dog that has fought its own kind, its own biology, and literal extinction. Not the type I want to start problems with. Now let the record show that the
Not at
muscle
all.
of canary is the equivalent of a canine wet wipe around family. But any burglars getting blacklisted from the census.
So,
It's you.
Once
versus
upon a
the
time, a zoo in
afternoon.
China
Good
caught
thing there's
heat for trying to pass off a dog as an African lion. Oh, it didn't last long, and they were for sure wrong, but when you squint at a Tibetan Mastiff, you see their inspiration. This Wolfie Mammoth is one of the oldest dog breeds
Gracious.
alive, and they were used to protect Buddhist monasteries and Tibetan monks from apex threats like wolves, bears, and snow leopards. Traditionally, the Hound of the Himalayas would sleep all day and patrol the villages at night, so if you take in a Tibetan Mastiff, you may find their habits nocturnal. They're built different. I'm talking genetically sequenced abnormally. Back in the day, Tibetan Mastiffs were bred with Tibetan wolves because the dogs have a special protein that helps red blood cells carry oxygen 50% more efficiently. This mutation does not appear in other dogs, but you do see it in the Tibetan subspecies of gray wolf, which is why the sentient hair salon pile can survive such a high altitude. It's not hard to see how a full-grown literal Clifford can send wolves running. And that's what I wanted to mention. These are guardian dogs, not attack dogs. They don't want you dead, necessarily. Just gone. They're not out here looking for smoke, and if you have one, you'll find that the most dangerous thing about them is the constant slaughtering can be a slip hazard. But there's a catch. The Tibetan Mastiff wasn't just insurance, they were a status symbol, especially in China. One named Big Splash sold for $1.5 million, so they can ruin you physically and financially. The problem is, like all fads, the TM hype faded fast, and the outcome was more abandoned Mastiffs than anyone knew what to do with. Except the dogs. The Tibetan persuasion started forming feral packs where they've killed livestock, hunted native Boral sheep, and even attacked ancient enemies like snow leopards, bears, and now even humans. Now we've got thousands of feral Uber dogs roaming the Tibetan plateau, making life air-conditioned hell for snow leopards and putting paws and jaws in any people that happen to cross their paths. It's basically what happened to pigeons in America, but I've never seen a pigeon lil bro a wolf. I don't know what's with all the videos of Tibetan Mastiffs and wolves in the same place, but I have not seen one where the dog doesn't completely bully the albeit smaller Asian wolves. And speaking of wolves, at least the wild ones are afraid of humans. We genetically engineered a weapon of mass destruction. And it's completely our fault. Mastiffs in general are a canine flex. They'll have you mad stiff. As in rigor mortis, the Bull Mastiff looks like a sweetheart that could genuinely bench press your family. The Neapolitan Mastiff was literally built on honey badger principles. Loose skin so that even when clamped, they can always turn around and face their problems. But it also makes them look like a victimized pizza pie, cheese sliding right off. But we can't forget the English
Bro, come on,
Mastiff,
man.
one of the few dogs that could successfully maul a wolf. For reference, the beast from Sandlot was an English Mastiff, and the record for the heaviest dog is held by Ika Mazorba, an English Stiffy weighing 343 pounds. And of course, we can't forget my favorite Mastiff, and honestly dog, the Rottweiler. This Rizzohund is an easy attitude adjustment for any man that thinks he can whoop any dog. But one dog you would absolutely get worked by is the Boer Bull is a massive 200-pound vibe check of a pet. They were bred as a South African farm dog to protect the home against threats like leopards and even baboons. Ironically, it's the baboons I'm impressed by. You see, there's a lot of stories about this farmer dog, aura, as the kids say. There's one story of a Boer Bull life-depriving 4 leopards in a row before losing to a 5th. Another story goes like this. The king of Albania gifted Alexander the Great a massive Boer Bull, but when Alex tried to get the dog to hunt, the dog seemingly refused, so Mr. Macedon did the sensible thing and murked the dog for insolence. Until the king said the dog wasn't lazy, just bored, and that these dogs were meant to hunt big game, like elephant big. So apparently they sent a replacement, and this Boer Bull won Alexander over after breaking a lion's back and forcing an elephant off a cliff. Do I believe it? Absolutely not, but it helps my narrative if I pretend I do. What is true is the same Boer Bull that squares up with big cats and baboons also has the personality of a weighted blanket, unless you threaten their family, in which case they'll put you in an ashtray. They're basically a guard dog that got promoted and invited out to hunts, which is actually the opposite of
Hold on, God. Yo. Yeah, everything good over here. How about you? How you feel?
The Rhodesian Ridgeback might seem like a token pick, but hear me out. They're the inverse of Boer Bulls. They were so good at hunting, they eventually got promoted to guards. With a max weight of like 120 pounds, the Ridgeback is the lightest dog in this video. They get the nod because they were used to hunt lions, along with the usual suspects like wild pigs and baboons. Now I should probably explain, when I say hunt lions, I don't mean these dogs are out here giving Simba the belt to butt. There isn't a dog alive that can beat a lion. No dog exists that can 1v1 a bear, and pretty much all would get folded by a full-grown all-American Northwestern wolf. By hunting, really the Rhodesian Ridgebacks would bay the lions, not straight up attack them, but harass them, applying constant pressure until eventually the hunters showed up. The best way I can explain it is these wolves mobbing a black bear and basically escorting him away from their pups hidden in the grass. Rhodesians more so keep the lion in one place, which is arguably just as impressive. It takes a lot of
Yeah. To even fool with a lion, you can't, as a dog, you can't attack him head up. That's a losing
intelligence to
battle.
pin a predator 5 times your size, and yeah, Ridgebacks are creepily smart. Ask around, some will even say they're human. And that's a level of intelligence I'm not trying to deal with. One thing I do love is a dog that went against literal lions is also mad sensitive. They do not respond well to harshness, and you unironically have to watch how you talk to them because they will take it personally. They're basically gifted teenagers. They're not for the discipline, so you better keep it positive. You know, I almost forgot to mention the Dogo Argentino. A mistake that would have been. Basically, a teenager in the 1920s unlocked free will and decided to create the best possible hunter dog. He took traits like the scent tracking of a pointer, the height of a Great Dane,
wow.
the Pyrenean Mastiff's calm temperament, and the boxer's overall athleticism, and crossbred them with the now extinct Cordoba fighting dog. Eventually, he created an Argentinian Mastiff, and to prove its strength, he pitted his dog against a wild boar and a mountain lion, gladiator style. Only the dog made it out. And I wouldn't even believe that if it wasn't for the story of Morocho, the Dogo Argentino, allegedly killing a puma to save his 2 human girls. Allegedly, because I'm not entirely sure it's true. I still can't see one soloing a healthy mountain lion, but the narrative has been set. So W Morocho. They might not be the biggest, but it's an explosive cannonball of a canine athlete that could overwhelm a grown man on the right day. They're tough enough to endure hours of trekking through rough terrain and still have enough juice to wrestle an animal 3 times its size. But if I ever saw this in an alley, my soul would auto-connect to the Wi-Fi in the sky. Now that's real Bluetooth. By now, you probably recognize the pattern. If a dog was bred as a livestock guardian in the mountains, it's likely the last dog you ever want issues with. And that is everything the Central Asian Shepherd dog is. The CAS, or Alibi, is another LGD spawning from Central Asia, and one of the few dogs that could honestly be confused with a polar bear. And while most of the dogs here are a matter of speculation and my personal bias, with the symbol of canine country strength often weighing over 200 pounds, a full-grown specimen motivated by malicious intent would dismantle an able-bodied man. And as one of the oldest dogs, humans didn't really do that much to breed them. They were honestly bred more by the harsh environment than anything. Just an overall unit of everything a dog
Which dog would y'all get?
can be, and likely the biggest dog most people have never heard of. Again, this isn't to demonize any breed in particular. I just figured the man versus dog thing gave me an excuse to talk about him, and I don't think I ever did make a dog video, so, you know, 2 birds, 1 stone and stuff. And if you're a man who thinks they can solo everything on this list, you got it. Don't take it too serious, although I haven't made an animal versus animal video in a minute. Now there's an idea. Reminder that I have a book rating animals by how likely they are to murk you, and dogs are on there. Their rating might just surprise you, but that's gonna do it.
Man. Okay. Which dog would y'all want to like raise up and stuff? Maybe a mastiff? Really? Akita, a Chiquita. Let's look that up real quick. Let's do a video on that. Akita. I think that's how you spell it. Five reasons Akita. Right. If I were to get like, you know what I'm saying? One of the most dangerous dogs in the world. Oh man.
Weighing in at a muscular 105.
This video, okay, hold on. Well, one of the most dangerous dogs in the world, video by a girl with the dog. So let's go.
We have the big, beautiful, and very serious Khan. Sit. Good boy. Okay, how about going in the bathtub? Sit. And very serious Khan. Sit. Good boy. Okay, how about going in the bathtub? Think that's doable? Come. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Good boy, Khan. I don't want to force him. Are you going to be a shower dog? I got to break my back for you? Yeah. Okay, shower dog it is.
Notice
I'm going to stand
how
under the shower first, just in case you don't like this.
notice how they had like a strong rope and not like a regular leash.
Good boy, Khan. Look. Good boy. Just water. He's never had a bath before. Good boy,
Hey.
Khan. I don't think I like it. Good boy. Khan is a 2-year-old American Akita.
2. Ain't no way that fool is 2. He look 15.
And not only is this his first grooming experience, but it's also his first ever bath. It's important to go slow when introducing anything new to an animal, but especially
that
when
one.
dealing with a potentially dangerous animal. So, the American Akita has made their way onto the top 10 most dangerous dog breeds in the world. But the
Sheesh.
truth is, I've never had a single problem with one in all the years that I've been grooming. So let's dive into this. To understand a dog breed, you must first understand their genetics.
Sir, you smell like pee.
The Akita Inu originated in Japan.
What's an Inu?
More
Akita
soap.
Inu.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
So that's the full name, Akita Inu. I think I just like the Inu. I want to get me a Shiba Inu. That was a little joke for all you crypto heads out there.
They were a medium-sized dog used to hunt bears and wild boar. In time, larger breeds were crossbred to create a much larger Akita. And this dog's job was to be smart, independent, fierce, and territorial.
This guy really has the plan to soak me today.
We both taking a bath.
It's okay, handsome man. Good boy. Want another treat? No.
Originally bred to guard, eventually, these larger-sized Akitas were also used in dog fighting. Today,
Well, I'm not into dog fights, but if I was, I'll put my money on this one
these
right here.
Akitas are known as American Akitas, and the smaller version is known as the Japanese Akita Inu. So now that we know the American Akita's history,
Okay.
it's no surprise they made it onto the dangerous dog breed list. They were bred to have a natural instinct to protect their home and family, take down large prey, and fight other dogs. Khan's owner made sure my facility was free from other dogs before even walking Khan inside. He doesn't play nice with others.
Will you take a treat now? Treat? Look.
This is a breed meant to be respected and understood. Of course, nurture can and does play a role in temperament, but it's very important to understand that so does genetics. If you think this breed might be a right fit for you, early socialization and training is a must.
Good gracious.
It's okay. Good boy.
Yeah, you don't want that food to get like go unhinged. It's gonna be hell to pay.
Good boy, big boy.
But you must also respect the fact that your Akita may never have other dog friends and may be territorial. So always do what is needed to keep your dog and your community safe. Khan did remarkable for his first ever groom, and he was a great ambassador for his breed. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe.
To get a dog like that, this definitely not no apartment dog. You would have to have a house or something. Otherwise, it's gonna be a problem. Can you imagine walking this down the street, or walking this out of an apartment building? People would be scared, bro. But this is a real short video. I just had to add this on real quick. But make sure you like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think down below. Appreciate ya.